Here's the information, and this is not up to date, but I just have that from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where we did a Fugitive Safe Starter site, where over 1,000 people turned themselves in, and they cleared, I think, over 5,000 warrants in 4 days. So we've seen about almost 20,000 people have participated in the program in the last couple of years. And only 269 of them, 1.5%, have been arrested. So that's a pretty low percentage of people walking through that door actually end up being arrested. That also varies by city and what they decide to do with the people who have certain types of warrants. That's a judge issue, and that's up to the judges in those cities. We get about 15% felony warrants per site, is the average. We do get a lot of non-violent traffic things, parking, but there are lots of drug issues. There are assaults, forgeries. So we get all types of open warrants coming through the door. Most people agree to take the survey. It's relatively non-invasive. We don't ask for their name on it. They have a number that's assigned to them, and that number is attached to their survey. I think it's 15 questions. It's not too personal, so most people are okay taking it. Some sample demographics that we get from the survey. It's majority male. 35 years is about the average of every city. This is very, very consistent. We get juveniles coming in, sometimes dragged by the ear by their parents, and we get very, very elderly people who want to clear that warrant in a peaceful way. They really want to get it off their conscience. So, predominantly African American. Most come with someone, and that is important for them. They feel safer coming with someone. It's also a logistical issue for the church. It's not just the fugitives who are going to show up. It's multiple people with them. That produces more of a background. You have to be ready for that. Be ready for their families. You have to do something with their families. Where are they going to go? What if they bring their kids? You have to have a daycare set up. All of those things were evident very early on. And now that we know those things, we can put them in place before they're needed in these other sites. Only 37% work at a job that they get a paycheck. That's a big deal. As Marshal, Elliot mentioned before, if we can clear these warrants so that people can get jobs and get work, everybody can get out. So one of the reasons people are turning themselves in, and they indicate that, is because they want to get a job. And 1/5 has in the past received counseling for mental health issues or received medication, which is, again, it's important to have these services available on site for people who might need that. How do you hear about it? Television, most important, most popular. And then it goes word of mouth. So I have seen, I was in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and there was a guy riding a bike back and forth past the church on the first day, Wednesday. He was back on Thursday riding that bike, just going past it. I think on Friday, he rode his bike up to the church and said that enough people have come to him and said it's not a scam, and that they didn't go to jail. Now he felt comfortable going in. He was just watching. He was watching to see what happened before he turned himself in. But he got calls from his friends and said, this is real. And they're not going to arrest you, most likely. It's not a trick. So then he feels comfortable coming in. That word of mouth. That's always the case. The first day is always the slowest. Because even though it's been around for a while now, there's still that, I'm not quite sure this is real. It seems like too good to be true, maybe it's a trick. They soon realize it's not. So we do get the word out in multiple ways. Why do you do it? Start over. Lots of people want to do it for their kids. There's lots of expecting fathers, pregnant mothers who walk in that door. Say, I need to have this done before I start this family. It's to get a job, they're tired of running, they're tired of always looking over their shoulder. You think if you have a warrant, you can't go get your license. When you put your name through the system, you have a warrant. You can't get a license, maybe you can't drive to work. So now you can't get a job. Because it's a snowball effect. If this open warrant, now I can't get a license, I can't get a job, I'm always nervous going outside. So I might be doing things I shouldn't be doing to get money. I mean, it's an additive effect of this one thing that they need to take care of, and now they're doing that. People haven't done it before because they're afraid. It goes to the trust issue. I don't know what's going to happen to me if I walk through the doors of this office, or if I'm stopped and I have an open door. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm coming in here because I still might not know what's going to happen to me, but I feel safe in this environment. And I know that nothing bad is going to happen. Nothing illegal is going to happen. It's supervised. And I know people here. People often do come with brothers and sisters come. Fathers, daughters, mothers and sons. They show up together to go through the process together. They don't know what's going to happen. Most of them don't know. They're not sure. Some do believe that this is an amnesty program, still even though it's advertised as not amnesty, it's a favorable consideration. They just think that everything's going to be okay and they're going to go home, and sometimes that happens. But there's usually some sort of outcome from the case. It's either maybe a small fine. Maybe they have large fines that they can't pay. Maybe the fine is reduced, they can pay a small fine, and that's it. Or they go on probation. Like I said, relatively few were arrested. 7% think they're going to be arrested. 1.5% do, but 7% think they're going to go to jail. But still walk through the door. It's necessary that this is the church. It's necessary. It is that relationship that the community has with the church that allows this program to work. Just a couple weeks ago, when I was in Harrisburg, someone asked, a group of people were sitting waiting to be processed. If this was at, they said, the Red Cross, who would have showed up? And a couple of hands out of 200 people. So it is that relationship that has been built over years and years and years with the church that allows them to feel comfortable doing this really risky, scary thing. But the right thing to do. I think there might have been less than all the places, total less than 100 people. It might even be 50 people said that didn't like surrendering their church. But they were there, surrendering. So they still went to the church to surrender. And Marshal, like I said, there's an off-site location, not a church, they can go to if they feel uncomfortable surrendering. In the community, someone they want help with, a lot of job services. One option that's not on there that's coming up recently that I've been seeing is housing. Foreclosure issues, apartment issues, a lot of housing things are being written onto the survey. They need help with those. Part of what we do after the site is been run is follow up with the people who received new court dates while they were on site. So you're on site, you see a judge, and they say, we're going to want to see you back in court in 3 weeks. We want to see how many of those people show up. Because if no one shows up, they're going to have more for a minute. They're not showing up to court, failing to appear. These are outstanding appearance rates for the criminal justice, in the criminal justice world. We're getting 90% some of these. And we show these to the cities and they say, our normal appearance rate might be 50%. And we're getting 90, 80% of people coming back to go to court again.